So there's only two things that could happen. The first step is the same. Take that percentage of how big the list is. That only makes sense. Where should the 90th percentile be? About 90% of the way into the list. Because then you got about 90% below you. That makes sense. And then the second step makes sense because we actually saw it happen. We saw why it makes sense. And that's what this captures. If it's a whole number, you average that with the next. Anything else, you round it up and take that one. I want you to realize something, though. What would P34 be? I don't have to do any work. 21. What would P35 be? 21. All right. Now, why is that not surprising? There's only 10 frickin' numbers up here, right? Mm-hmm. So for very small samples, the percentiles are going to repeat a lot because there's not enough data points for everybody. So if the sample size is very small, this process still works, but there's going to be a lot of overlaps. And when the sample size gets really big, then you can have individual percentiles. So you have enough data points to go around. I like it. Maybe. All right, so let's do one last thing here. Somebody got what they want up here? Mm-hmm. More than you wanted? Okay. Last thing. Let's make some fresh data. That data was getting all stale and shit. Let's see. Fresh yummy data. Well, just a second. All right. One thing to notice is what am I doing with the data as I'm doing this?
It's in order.
It's in order. Yes, that's huge. Let's see. Let's do 12 things. Should be 12, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Shit. There. All right. We have 12 data points. We're going to create something called a box plot. It's actually called a. You don't want to? It's actually called a Box-and-Whisker Plot. So if even if you don't watch sports, how do they normally discuss like a football game or a basketball game? They go by what happens in each quarter, right? So a way I can split the data up is to look at quarters of it. So what do you think the first quartile would be? What percentile is that related to, of course? The first quarter will be P what? You could do it. P25, that's what a quarter is, right? So if I want to find the quarters, I know how to do that, right? So P25, I got 12 points, right? That's not tough. I shouldn't have made it 12. Well, it doesn't matter, Jeff, you'll be fine. I'm sad. So, what's the first step to find P25?
25%.
Good, 25% of 12 is 3, right? Because it's 1/4 of 12. So what do I do with that? What's that mean? Is the answer 3? Yay! You take the third and fourth.
And average.
Can you see what's in the middle?
89.
90.
What's in the middle of 89, 91? 90. So you don't have to do all the work if you just see it. So this would be 90. How do I get P50? 50% of 12 is 6. So take the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and average those. Here's a cool trick. How far apart are these?
6.
Divided by 2 is 3. Add 3 to this side, you get 98. It's going to be right in the middle. Right? If you go halfway, you're going to be in the middle. So that's 98. How are we all doing?
Good.
And now watch. P75, you can do 75% of 12 and blah, blah, blah. But I want you to realize, I had to go, let me see if you guys get this. Third and fourth from this side for Q1. So I go third and fourth from this side to get Q3. 1, 2, 3. I do these two. If you don't like what I just did, what is 75% of 12? 9. So you take the ninth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ninth and 10th, like I just said, and average those. And you get 9th and 10th, 6th and 7th, 3rd and 4th. So here you get 108. Oh, I still got time. Maybe not, but let's pretend like we do. Very last thing, watch. This is relatively simple. The thing I call, not just me, but the thing that is known as the 5-number summary is low, Q1, Q2, Q3, high. That's the 5-number summary. How do you describe a game? It starts, end of the first quarter, end of the second quarter, end of the third quarter, end of the frickin' game. That's what that is. What's the lowest data point? 8. What's Q1? Where'd it go? 90. Q2 was 9. Get up there, Jeff. 98. Q3 was, and then the highest data point. Now watch this. What's the most important thing about whenever you make a number line? The scale has to be consistent, dear God. So I want to go from 80 to 114, so maybe go by 5s. 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105, 110, 115. Did I do it? I think I did. All right. Make a consistent scale that captures everybody. And then here's a little bit of a difference. Put a line above, so put a line above the low, put a line above each one. 90, 98, 108, 114. Right, so that looks really weird. And then you box these off, and you whisker these. So if you've ever seen an image like that, that is a box and whisker plot. It's a very quick visual of data. Last question to ask you. What percentage is in the box? What's in the box? What percentage is don't open that box. What percentage is in that box? It ain't 75%. What was this one again? This one was Q3. So what percentage is totally below it? 75. What was this guy? Q1. What percentage is below it? So what percentage is in the box? 50%. So that's the heartland. That's the middle 50%. Man, I can't believe I slammed all that in there. So next time we'll start with a quiz. I'll have a handout about this, and then we'll finish up chapter 2. It's going to be crazy. Okay. Please don't forget your stuff. Please, my calculators. Let's exchange. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Yeah. So it's not late until you turn it in after the test, but you try to turn it in before then as you get it done. And how do you know you're on track? So I finished 2-4 today, I think it was. So you should have through 2-4 done on a week from today. Yeah.
So the quiz is chapter 1, 2.2?
Yes.
Okay, just double check.
Yeah, we gotta get you switched. So.
Anybody?
Yeah,